Chapter 25, Parting Friends. Melanie looked up, her reddish-amber eyes sorrowful. For a moment she paused, as if hesitating to say something. Then she announced, "I'm going back to Hong Kong." Sakura and Syaoran both dropped their chopsticks. "What?" "Why are you leaving for Hong Kong?" Sakura asked the next day. Melanie fastened 2 ribbons around her buns. "Syaoran, we'll be late for school again." "It's so sudden." Turning around, Melanie faced Sakura. "When I was kidnapped by the Kaido magician and attacked by the Joker and was helpless to do anything when you and Syaoran were sucked into Princess Rose's mirror, I realized something. I'm so weak and incompetent to do anything but cause trouble. I don't even have special powers. That's not true. When I return to Hong Kong, I'm going to train harder than ever and become stronger and more able to look after myself. I'm no help to Syaoran." She cast her amber eyes down bitterly. "But you like him. Don't you want to be with him?" "That's exactly it. It's better for me to be away from him." "Why suddenly now, though? All those times together?" Sakura glanced up. "Does it have something to do with the mirror?" Considering the question, Melanie answered, "Yes, but not completely. Look, it's not like I'm going away forever or anything. I'm just going away to clear my head." She smiled brightly. "I know what I'm doing. I'll come back, okay? Don't worry about it." Since fellow classmate Lee Mei Lin, who was in the role of Juliet in Star-Crossed, will be leaving in 1 week, there will be re-auditions for the role of Juliet, Terada-sensei announced, and a wave of whispering ran through the students. "Melanie-chan, you're going back to Hong Kong?" Chiharu exclaimed. "Uh-huh." Melanie nodded. "I miss my home. That's why." "So, Melanie-chan's returning to Hong Kong," mused Tomeo. Casting her deep forest green eyes down, Sakura said, "Yet, I feel guilty because you feel as if it's because of you?" Nodding, Sakura replied, "Yes, I feel bad. If I wasn't staying at their house, actually, if I never met Syaoran-kun." "If you never met Syaoran-kun, there would always be an empty place in your heart," Tomeo informed her. "I don't know much, but one thing's certain is that Syaoran-kun makes all the difference in your life, for better or for worse. I don't know, but still, don't put pressure on yourself, Sakura-chan. Melanie really likes him, and that's why she's leaving. It's completely her choice. Didn't she say she wants to become stronger before she comes back?" Still, Sakura gazed at the pretty green buds on the trees and the colorful flowers blooming on the school grounds. "I think I'd like to do something nice for her. Let her know she's appreciated." "I think that's a great idea." That night, as Melanie, Syaoran, Tomeo, and Sakura gathered in Tomeo's room, basically lazing around, listening to music, and designing costumes for the musical, Tomeo, of course, or trying to get some homework done, Melanie exclaimed, "Sakura-chan, we better get ready." For what?" Sakura asked, munching on an apple. What do you think? The Juliet re-auditions, of course, for the musical," Melanie said proudly, "and the original herself can help you." "We try out for Juliet?" "Of course. Since I'm going back to Hong Kong and there was no understudy for me, there has to be a new Juliet. We will get you the part." Nodding in agreement, Tomeo added, "That's a great idea. Who else would fit the role better? Anyway, you have a better grasp on the musical than anyone else, since you were always helping out ever since day 1. And you know the lines better than I do, since you helped me so much to memorize them. It's too bad you couldn't try out an audition last time, but this time you can get in. Right, Syaoran?" Right. Syaoran continued nonchalantly with his math equations. For a moment, Sakura pouted. Then, a new determination swelled in her to get it right this time. Was there a chance she could get the role of Juliet? Besides, Melanie added jokingly, most of the good people are already involved in other important roles in the musical anyway, so I don't think there'll be that much competition. Oy. Sakura's sweat dropped. So, that was that. The next few days, Melanie patiently went over all of Juliet's parts and star-crossed with her. Though it was tedious, Sakura felt gratefully thankful towards her friend. Melanie-chan, she asked, don't you regret not being able to continue the role of Juliet in the musical? You really liked it, didn't you? Kinda. Syaoran is my Romeo and everything, but it's okay. There'll be other chances for my talent. I can sacrifice the role to you, Melanie replied. You really like him, don't you? Sakura asked softly, leaning on Melanie's desk chair. Yes, I do, in my strange little way. But he really cares for you. He was so depressed when you were kidnapped, and he's always looks after you with a soft eye. I can't really describe it, Sakura sighed. There was no doubt that Syaoran had a soft spot for Melanie. Ruefully smiling, Melanie replied, but that's not the way I want him to care for me. I'm always someone who needs to be looked after, like a child. I don't want to be a little sister for him to take care of. Brightly, she said, but it's okay. I'm fine with that. I accept it. I can't change Syaoran's heart just like that. You know him really well. I really don't get him. Giving a brief laughter, Melanie said, You just don't get it, do you? Playing with the doll on Melanie's bed, she asked, Get what? Sakura sighed. After Melanie left, she wouldn't want to be alone with Syaoran. I guess I'll just go back to living at my own house. Things are really cool between us ever since that afternoon I slammed the door in his face. That brief moment we were trapped in the mirror of truth. He was nice about finding me and all, but that's because it was business. Strange. And like Yukito-san, I don't really feel hanyan about Syaoran. There's only a lonely feeling inside me. I wish I could go back to my little elementary days. We were so innocent, naive, and sincere. When we thought that's all there was to life. Never mind. Here, memorize the next lines. Flipping through the script, Melanie sighed. Syaoran. It's best for me to leave him and recollect my thoughts. Yet, I feel so wary about just leaving these two like this. What will they do without me to sort things out? Melanie pondered deeply. As Sakura fiddled with something on Melanie's desk, she asked, What's this? It was a pretty box of stale candies and a dried, withered peony on top. Gazing at the box, Melanie remembered how eagerly Syaoran had bought the candies on the day before White Day, and how he couldn't give it. Angrily, Melanie said, Syaoran was going to give that to you on White Day, but you ruined it by taking the doll from Aaron. What do you mean? But he gave that rose bouquet and everything to Erika. There was a picture of it in the school newspaper. We all saw it. Oh, stupid! He was just doing it as a favor for a friend on the soccer team. He was trying to give you that all along. Sakura's emerald green eyes widened. So, he hadn't been avoiding her then, after all. A heavy burden in her heart lifted as she fingered the box. Really? Do you mind if I keep this? The musical rehearsals are so hectic these days because Melanie-chan's leaving, Tomeo commented. We're going to start clearing out and repairing the old school theater. The old theater? Sakura asked. Oh, it's the old theater building behind the main building. It's really big, but kind of old, so there has to be lots of reparation, and star-crossed final production will be held there, so we're starting to clean it out. The last production held in it was more than 20 years ago. Really? Malin asked. I'm glad I won't be sticking around to clean out that big old mess. Still, it's a beautiful stage. It'll be good as new in a few months for the production. Oh, it's the stage that Saki-chan's mother acted on. Emerald green eyes turning round, Sakura commented, I never knew that. I found out a few days ago. Your mother played the role of Christine Daae in the Seiju Junior High play, The Phantom of the Opera. I found the old program for the play and everything, even a video clip. The Phantom of the Opera. We saw the Broadway musical in New York. Oh, it was beautiful, Malin stated. I agree, Tomeo said. See, I found pictures of Seiju Junior High performance in Mother's old photo album. In rapture, Sakura flipped through several pictures of Nadesco in an old-fashioned dress on stage, smiling. And I have the chance to act on the very stage that my mother did. I'll take it. A few days later. Sakura-chan, congratulations! You got the part of Juliet! All her friends congratulated after the day of the Juliet re-auditions. A little dazed, Sakura thanked them. Her auditions had passed in a blink. Thanks to Malin and Tomeo, she was fully prepared, and when she was on stage, she spoke her lines clearly and with power, while her sweet song rang with depth throughout the auditorium, her voice clear as a running river. If her mother had been in a school production, she wanted to try as well. Plus, the anger of Eureka ruining her auditions on Valentine's Day fueled her energy. Not to mention that Syaoran had planned on giving her a White Day present after all. During the auditions, she had a calm, cold fire trickle through her, as if she knew she would get the part, no matter what. Great job, Edon commented. You only got the part because there was no good people left to audition for the role of Juliet because they already had other parts, Eureka said scornfully. Yet nothing could disrupt Sakura's joy. Personally, she thought she wasn't wonderfully talented as Tomeo, yet the practice and hard effort had ensured her the part. Plus, many students unanimously agreed that Sakura really deserved the role, especially since she worked hard and helped everyone during their rehearsal previously, not to mention she had the athletic coordination for the role. Syaoran? Sakura timidly entered his room for the first time in ages. Syaoran's room was basically off limits. The first thing that caught her eye was the wolf embroidery she had made him for Christmas. A warmth swelled in her. So, he liked it after all. He hung it right above his bed. Syaoran looked up from wood shavings on the floor. He was carving something out of a block of wood. Wow, that's pretty. You're carving a flower. Is it for Malin? I don't know. I guess. I'm used to just having her around, he had admitted bashfully. It'll be strange without her. Clapping her hands together, Sakura said, That's why I have an idea. Let's throw her a surprise party before she leaves on Sunday. Just, to let her know that we all care for her and that we'll miss her. We'll invite everyone, all our friends. That's a really good idea. Syaoran smiled, brushing wood shavings from his lap. It's a nice thought. Tomeo and I will plan everything, so don't worry about it. And remember, keep it a secret from Malin-chan. Okay. If you need help, tell me. Before Sakura was about to leave his room, he said, Hey. Yeah? Congratulations on getting the role. Huh? Sakura looked up in surprise, then smiled warmly. Thanks. The pretty Hong Kong girl is leaving, Edon commented lazily, flipping through a book. I guess the mirror of truth really shocked her. After all, I think she really does care for that little wolf a lot. To see him turn like that. Eureka brushed her glossy hair in front of the bureau mirror. The cherry blossom and the rest are throwing a surprise party for her tomorrow. Cute, nay? Should we cause a little disruption? For a moment, Aeron paused to think it over, fingering his ponytail. Nah, don't bother. Huh? Erika turned around to see her twin brother better. Don't tell me you're getting soft, Aeron. Laughing, Aeron replied, No. What I mean is that they'll have plenty of trouble to face. Anyway. Shuffling her foot, Maylin looked down, disappointed. Syaoran showed no reaction about her leaving. Not that she was expecting any, but still, she was leaving tomorrow. Maylin-chan! Sakura ran up to her. Come, let's go to Tomeo's house. Why? You'll see! When Sakura and Maylin reached Tomeo's mansion, the maid led them to a grand room. When the door swung open, it was dark at first. Huh? What? Then loud cracking noise popped, and a chorus of people shouting, Surprise! sounded. The lights flooded on May as Maylin stood baffled, with streamers hanging from her hair. Immediately, dozens of friends clapped, and in the middle of the huge room, a grand banner saying, We'll miss you, Maylin, was spread across the walls. A stack of presents were piled on one side, while a homemade 5-layer baked cake with pink rose icing was revealed, and long tables flooded with food. Standing in front of everyone, Sakura said in a clear voice, We all wanted to show you how much we care for you, and through this party, so that you'll understand how we all care for you as a great friend. So come back to us as soon as you can. Sakura smiled. Do you have anything to add, Syaoran? Turning red, Syaoran said, Don't change from who you are right now, Maylin, and keep safe and healthy. Oh, wait a minute. Sweat dropping, he commented, That sounds so dull. He glanced hopelessly at Sakura. After all, it wasn't his skill to give poetic farewell speeches. Still, Maylin was stirred in her heart. Syaoran did care for her, though it was not the way she wanted. Well, Sakura concluded, let's all enjoy the party in honor of Maylin-chan. Everyone enjoyed themselves immensely partying, yet Maylin seemed rather silent. Aren't you having fun? Sakura asked, concerned. Oh, no, I really appreciate it all. I love it. Maylin exclaimed. It really makes me think twice about returning. Thank you so much. Open the presents! Shouted Chiharu, Nako, and Rika. Giving presents originated from, Yamazaki Takashi began. When Maylin reached the last present, she saw that it was from Syaoran and Sakura. She unwrapped the paper and opened an elegantly carved and polished wooden box. Inside, it was an intricately carved Chinese peony flower out of aromatic sandalwood. Peony was Syaoran's favorite flower, and it was elaborately painted in soft hues of rose pink and evergreen. Bashfully, Sakura commented, Syaoran made it, and I just painted it. Don't forget your good friends. It's beautiful. Thank you, both of you, so much. Maylin's eyes blurred. She really didn't want to leave now. The wood flower smelled the sweetest of sandalwood, and she held it close to her heart. Her friends were the most important to her. At the airport. You have all your luggage, right? And your passport? Don't lose it. The boarding ticket's in your pocket. Remember, don't talk to strangers. Be careful of smugglers. Syaoran continued on. Okay, you don't have to worry about me. I've been on airplanes before. Maylin smiled brightly. Way's picking me up once I land. Maylin, Syaoran said, looking up. I'll really miss you. You know that, right? You can come back any time. I know. It was my own choice to leave. Maylin smiled. Then, with starry, bright amber eyes, she said, Syaoran, I'll always like you. Don't you change from who you are inside. And remember when you told me that you no longer have feelings for Sakura? Is it really true? This left Syaoran speechless. She continued, "If it's true, that's your choice. I don't see any reason why you still can't remain good, trustworthy friends. Yet, if it isn't true..." "Meilin-chan, it's boarding time," Sakura called, running up to them with Tomeo. Sakura tripped right over someone, falling flat on her face. Everyone had to stifle their giggles. The person she tripped over peered down at her, looking out over his dark silver-framed sunglasses. Then he exclaimed, "You again!" Sakura looked up at the young man with spiked hair and dangling fane earring in his left ear. Dressed in stark black, he looked somber yet mischievous. Timidly, Sakura asked, "Kaito-kun?" "Don't call me that!" the thief scowled. "Don't tell me it's just a coincidence you guys turn up wherever I go." "Look who's talking. What are you doing here?" Syaoran demanded defensively. "Hey, you still haven't took this bracelet off of me. Take it off!" Meilin exclaimed, holding out her wrist. "Sorry, I'm busy, man," Kaido Magician said. "You're leaving Japan?" Sakura asked. "Yeah, I'm done with my business here. On to my next destination. But remember, I'm coming back for that necklace and the ring and the 5 Force treasures. I just think it's safer leaving it here with you two. So keep it safe till I come back. Then it'll be mine." Kaido grinned. "Well, that's a relief for everybody." Syaoran said sarcastically, "Wait, how will you leave the country? The government allows you to have a passport?" "Nah, stole someone's." Smiling at Syaoran, he commented, "Ew, I can't believe you used to look like this when you were little." Kaido Magician held up a passport. Staring at the passport picture of a somber-looking 10-year-old boy, Syaoran guffawed. "Hey, give that back! That's my passport! What do you mean by taking it? When the hell did you steal it?" "It's my occupation, being a thief. Disguise is the key," he stated in a matter-of-fact way. "Bye, you four," the Kaido Magician said, dissolving into the crowd with the grace of a true-born magician. They were sure they hadn't seen the last of him. "We always bump into him. I can't believe the police didn't catch him yet." "Well, I'll be leaving now," Meilin said finally. "Thanks for the wonderful party and the presents." "We'll miss you," Tomeo said while videotaping. "Keep in touch." "I will." "Come back soon?" Sakura said. "Don't worry about that," Meilin winked, flipping back her jet black pigtails. "And I'll be more determined than ever to bother Syaoran." Syaoran's sweat dropped. "Sakura-chan, take good care of Syaoran for me. He acts all mature, but he's still a kid inside," Meilin said. "Me?" Sakura pointed to herself. "There's no one else to look after him, and has a horrible time waking up in the morning. Make sure he gets enough sleep. He's still a growing boy." "Hey!" he protested. Then she said softly to Sakura, "Don't forget, just be who you are inside, Sakura." "Meilin, are you leaving because of Syaoran?" Sakura asked back in a quiet tone. "'Cause if it's because of your feelings for him, you should know that." "Sakura, to tell you the truth, I don't really understand what Syaoran's feelings are in his heart, but I know what my feelings are, and at least you have the satisfaction of knowing that he did like you once. Maybe he will again. Me, it'll never be the same. Years ago, I realized that he cared for you since he called you by your name. Until that time, he never said a girl's name, except for me and his sisters. When I broke our engagement, I asked, 'Is it Kanemoto Sakura?' He said yes, and I knew. I was beaten, that I had lost in my game, yet there was nothing to do about it. Then he returned to Japan again. When I followed him, I thought maybe I had another chance, but once again, I realized I don't." "That's not true. Last winter, he told me that he didn't have any feeling for me. You still have a chance, and so do you." Maylin replied, gulping back a lump in her throat. To everyone, Maylin called back, "Well, bye!" Maylin quickly turned around, hiding the tears in her eyes. "I love you, Syaoran. I'm going to come back, though, and by then, I won't love you anymore. By then, I'll become a stronger person, inside and outside, and I won't be a nuisance to you. You'll be proud of your cousin." The mirror truth showed painful details of the future. "I don't want to be a burden on you, Syaoran. I want to be by his side and help him. That's why I'm going back to Hong Kong, to learn all that I can before the final revelation." "Bye, Maylin!" They all waved. Each of them felt a rueful twang to see their friend go. At first, Maylin might have seemed nagging and cleaning, yet she really was a good-hearted, sensitive person inside. At least I had the satisfaction of knowing that he cared for me once. How much? To what extent? I don't know. And things are changed now, yet he did. And that makes all the difference, Sakura thought. It was nighttime after Maylin's departure. Syaoran was at a soccer game, so Sakura was by herself in the apartment. For a moment, Sakura fingered the embroidery of the wolf she had made. Why had Syaoran hung it on the wall above the head of his bed? She had a guilty feeling that she wasn't supposed to be in that room. Then her eyes wandered to his wooden desk. There was a dry rose on it. She frowned, suddenly remembering Valentine's Day. That day, when her auditions went wrong and she couldn't give Syaoran the rose. Why did she have a feeling that she saw this rose before? Somehow it felt like it belonged to her. Good riddance. Then her fingers wandered to a pretty emerald green ribbon which matched her eye color. It was tied loosely around the dried rose. With trembling fingers she untied it. Wasn't this her ribbon? The one she lost months ago at Syaoran's house? What was it doing in his room? "What are you doing in here?" A cold voice came from behind. Crossing his arms, Syaoran leaned against the doorway. Though he looked pretty calm on the outside, he was frantic, wondering if Sakura saw her ribbon or the teddy bear she gave him long ago. For heaven's sake, why didn't he put it in a better hiding place? And why did he hang up her Christmas present on his bedroom wall? Plus that dried rose on his table? She might get the wrong idea. With a fluttering in her stomach, Sakura dropped the rose and the ribbon and turned around. I lost my pencil, and I was just looking for it. Caught red-handed. Sakura looked down guiltily. She had only meant to go in and look at her embroidery. "So, did our school win the soccer game?" "Yeah, 4-0. "Wow, I bet you won many goals." "Oh, well." Syaoran looked down bashfully. He had shot 3. Syaoran had shot 1. "It seems really empty without Maylin Jian," Sakura commented as she set the dinner table at Lee's apartment. She was all alone with Syaoran now. That was an unnerving thought. "Yeah, I hope she gets there fine," Syaoran replied. "I can't believe we saw the Kaido magician again." "He won't be causing any more trouble here. Oh, I have to register a new passport because he stole mine, that cheapskate." "Yet, I feel there's something more we should know about him." "Who cares about a thief?" He shrugged off. After washing the dishes, he said, "Well, I'm going to bed early, all right? Do whatever you want. Watch TV, listen to music, or do your homework or something." "Okay." Sakura entered the guest room, sighing. If Maylin was there, they'd be laughing and talking. Slowly she took out her math homework and groaned. When was the last time she studied? Life had been so hectic these days. Her brother would kill her if he saw her grades. Well, back to schoolwork. Throwing the alarm clock to the floor, Sakura turned over to her side and continued sleeping. An hour later, she bolted up awake. "Whee! I Quickly slipping on her skirt and short-sleeved blouse, vest, school tie, and knee socks, she grabbed her bag and bolted out of the room. Syaoran, wake up! We're late! Yawning, Syaoran asked in a dazed state, Then he picked up his alarm clock from his bedroom floor and shouted, What? In a matter of seconds, Syaoran and Sakura ran out of the apartment complex while Syaoran was busy buttoning up his school uniform shirt and hanging onto his tie, trying to run with his shoes half on. How could you sleep in? Sakura shouted as they ran to school. What about you? You slept right through the alarm. He tried to straighten his tie while running. So did you. I always thought you were an early riser. Sakura winced as her right ankle strained at the impact from running so fast. I used to be, not anymore. I just don't get enough sleep. Maybe Syaoran was also showing strains from using so much power these days. Just remember, Sakura shouted, Whee! I forgot to bring my math homework. That doesn't make a difference. You never do it in the first place. Wait, we turn this way. They swerved around the lane. Watch out for the motorcycle. Sakura leaped out of the way. I almost got ran over by a motorcycle because of you. Why is it my fault? You weren't looking where you were going. Whee! We have 1 minute left. They approached Seiju Junior High. Together, they shouted, Run for your lives! They raced across the school grounds to their class. I will not be late for class. I will not be late for class. I will not be late for class. Holy! Sakura's head was drooped as she wrote, I will not be late for class 100 times on the chalkboard during lunchtime. Her stomach grumbled. She blushed as Syaoran raised an eyebrow from the board next to hers. He had also been punished for being late to school. Defiantly, Sakura said, Well, I didn't have breakfast, and now I'm missing out on lunch. I never said anything, he replied. In disgust, he threw down the chalk. He was not even halfway through. Then, brightening up, Sakura whipped out a card and said, Twin, duplicate the sentence 100 times. The letters, I will not be late for class, multiplied and appeared 100 times on the board. Brushing her hands, she stepped back satisfied. Then, glancing at Syaoran's wobbling writing on the boards, she pointed towards his chalkboard, and the twin wrote the sentence out 100 times on the board. Syaoran gazed up in surprise at the board. He commented, It's kinda cheap. With pretended offense, Sakura replied, crossing her arms, Shouldn't you be more grateful to someone who saved you from writing that out 100 times? Still, it feels rather dishonest. We're not taking our punishment dutifully. Fine, if you feel that way, I'll erase. No, it's fine, Syaoran interrupted, shaking his head rapidly. Well, we can go eat lunch now. You forgot. We were late, so we didn't bring any lunch, nor any money. So we have nothing to eat, Syaoran reminded. At that moment, Erika burst into the classroom with a pretty pink and white lunchbox. Syaoran-kun, do you want to share my lunch with me? She opened it up to reveal a delicious-looking row of ham, cheese, egg salad, and tuna salad sandwiches, and for dessert, chocolate and vanilla pudding with fresh strawberries. Syaoran's eyes bulged at the scrumptious-looking lunch. Then he saw Sakura watching. Sakura, it's okay. Go eat with Rika. I don't care what you do. Stomping out of the classroom, Sakura slammed the door shut. Blinking, Syaoran said, I was only going to ask if she wanted to eat as well. She must be hungry. Tossing back her wavy length hair, Erika commented, What's wrong with her? Here, try these sandwiches. I made them. See? Aren't they good? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. Thanks. Syaoran craned his neck to see outside the window. Sakura was talking to Agaki Aki, the captain of the basketball dunce head who had been the third magician for the circus carnival and had asked Sakura to dance at the Winter Wonderland. That jerk. After school, Syaoran caught up with Sakura. Hey, did you have anything to eat? Yeah, Tamiya-chan shared her lunch with me, Sakura replied, refusing to turn in his direction. Oh, Since school's over, I was wondering if you'd want to. Shaoran! Erika ran up to Syaoran, flinging her arms around him. There you are! Her golden hazel eyes gleamed mischievously. Did you like my lunch? Twiddling her thumbs, she looked up innocently and said, Actually, I'm kind of having trouble with math right now. It's really difficult, and I don't get the stuff about functions and all. She tossed her reddish glossy hair prettily. You're really smart and everything, so I was wondering if you have time. Of course, if you're busy, I understand, but would you teach me math after school? Sure, Syaoran replied. Great! Erika looked up brightly. Then, do you want to do it right now? We can go to the library, or you can come to my house. Okay, I'm not busy today. Syaoran turned to Sakura. Oh, yeah. I'm going home. Sakura walked outside the gate and turned on the sidewalk. Wait, the apartment's in the other direction, Syaoran called out. I'm going to my house. Sakura left Syaoran speechless. Well, who cares? Stupid Erika, stupid Syaoran. It's better living alone at my house rather than facing Syaoran every day. Who cares if I'm scared of ghosts, thieves, thunderstorms, dark nights, being home alone? As Sakura entered her long-abandoned house, she coughed because of the dust. She'd only left for less than 2 weeks, yet it seemed ages ago since she fell off the stairs. The kitchen window that Syaoran broke through had been fixed, yet scorch marks still remained on the wallpaper, and there was a dent on the bottom of the stairs where she had landed. Wistfully, she fingered the dent on the wall. Did he make all of this mess because he was angry at the Joker for hurting her? Or was it just to get rid of another evil force? Well, living alone was worse than twice her imagination. Not only did she have a greater problem waking up in the morning, yet often she skipped meals, had a dreadful time doing chores, not to mention schoolwork. Meilin, Syaoran, and she had always done their homework together, helping each other out in weakness. Plus, her closet was literally empty. All her warmer weather clothes were at Syaoran's apartment, and she was too embarrassed to go over and get it. Yet, the worst thing was the house felt so empty. At least when she was with Syaoran, she had the comfort of feeling his presence in the room next door. You can stay at my house if you want to, Tomeo said as she saw a spiral-eyed Sakura sit on a bench during lunchtime at school. Sakura was having sleepless nights by herself in her empty house. Thanks, but it's okay. Sakura didn't want to be a nuisance, and also she knew that Tomeo was having trouble with her family at the moment, though she chose not to talk about it. During the star-crossed rehearsal, the director sensei announced, Okay, let's practice the next act. Romeo, Juliet, make your entrance. It's our first time practicing this scene, so don't worry about the minor details. Most of the act ran smoothly until it came to the final scene. Sakura lay on the floor and shut her eyes. For a moment, Syaoran's eyes bulged as he looked at the script. It seemed like forever that she had to lie still. Lee, get on with it, the sensei ordered. Then Syaoran stammered, Nobody ever told me that I'd have to kiss her. It's in the script, Lee, the teacher replied impatiently. You're a third year at Seiju Junior High. Just do so lightly on her cheek or something for now, and let's get on with the act. Ears flaming red, Syaoran hung his head down. Slowly, he bent over Sakura's head. Sakura's eyes fluttered, and she squirmed. Suddenly, she felt a sneeze coming, and she sat up. Achoo! It was at that moment that Syaoran bent over to kiss her cheek. His lips landed smack on the floor. Everyone roared with laughter, and the sensei groaned in despair. Syaoran glared at Sakura for making a fool of him. Well, I had to sneeze, Sakura retorted. You're the one who took so long and got dust in my throat. Why don't we move on to Act 3, the teacher interrupted. They practiced a dancing scene between Juliet and Count Paris. Syaoran and Sakura practiced their act together, while Syaoran endured the whole cast nudging him and asking, "So, did you like kissing the floor? Was it dusty? Was it smelling? Was it enchanting?" "Shut up!" Syaoran felt like hiding under the curtains. Meanwhile, Aeron commented to Sakura, "Wow, you already memorized all your lines. It's been less than a week since you got your part." "It's not that amazing," Sakura replied, smiling. "Hey, do you want to do something together after school today? I know a really good movie in the theaters," Aeron said, his golden eyes bright. "Sure, that'll be great," Sakura answered. From the other side of the stage, as he practiced a sword fighting scene, Syaoran's ears pricked. Girls were squealing, "Ooh, Kinemata Sakura has a date with Jane-kun today. Really? Oh my gosh, she's so lucky." "Ouch, Lee-kun, watch where you're pointing your sword at," Aki complained as he rubbed his arm. "Wow, it's been ages since I've been out to watch the movies," Sakura commented as they entered the movie theater early evening. "Me too. Here, I'll get the popcorn and the drinks." Aeron moved toward the food stand. He winked. "Oh yeah, that outfit looks really nice on you. It makes you look like the spring sky." "Thank you." Sakura blushed. She had chosen to wear a smooth, bluish skirt with a nice aquamarine top with short sleeves under a thin, white cardigan with sleeves coming right below her elbows. 2 turquoise ribbons were tied on each side of her hair. From behind a corner, Tomeo held out her video camera in rapture. "Ah, Sakura's date!" "Ah, too bad there's so many people at the theater. It was impossible to keep track. There, I'll move behind this wall and... Ouch!" She collided into someone. That person ignored her and continued to peer through the popcorn stand at a girl dressed in blue-green while pretending to be waiting in line. He shoved a black Nike cap lower down his forehead and tried to hide his face. Hesitantly, Tomeo asked, "Syaoran-kun, is that you? What are you doing here?" Syaoran's hair stood on its end as he whipped his cap off. So much for disguise. "I'm not spying on her." "I never said you were. Of course you aren't jealous. I mean, you don't have any special feelings for her. Plus, Syaoran is so charming. Don't you think they look so cute together?" Tomeo's violet eyes gleamed mischievously. "No!" Throughout the entire movie, Sakura kept on murmuring, I feel as if the back of my neck is crawling, as if someone's watching me." "More popcorn?" Aeron asked. They reached for a handful, and their hands brushed against each other's. Sakura's ears turned red. From 2 seats behind, Syaoran glared at Aeron. He was very tempted to spill a large cup of Coke down Aeron's back, yet Tomeo refrained him just in time. At the end of the movie, as they walked out, Aeron said, "That was a very nice movie, wasn't it, Sakura?" "Huh? Yeah." She sweat dropped. Throughout the movie, she had been so nervous and frittery, she had no idea what the plot was about. Actually, she hadn't enjoyed herself one bit. Maybe she had thought spending the evening with Aeron would take her mind off of other matters, yet it didn't. From the other side of the crowd, Tomeo sighed. "Why?" Syaoran asked. "Didn't you get enough shots of Aeron and Sakura sitting next to each other watching a stupid, silly romance movie?" "Yes, but I was expecting, well, more." She looked up with star eyes. "I mean, it was the perfect setting. Dark, romantic, quiet, and they didn't even hold hands once, let alone do anything. Oh, sorry. I know how you must feel." "I told you I don't care. If she likes that bastard, it's none of my business. We're just allies against a dark force," Syaoran stated. "Hi, Tomeo-chan. I didn't know you came to see the movie as well," Sakura said as she walked up to her friend. She had heard Syaoran's last remark. Now she knew. They were just allies against an evil force. It was always about the Dark One's special powers. Did he ever care for her in the first place? Or was it just because they'd been through so much together, fighting against the Cloud Cards, that he had imagined that he cared for her? Then, when he came back to Japan, he realized it was just childhood, immature foolishness. Syaoran and I really wanted to see this movie, right? Tomeo nudged Syaoran, who mumbled some sort of answer. I'll walk you home, Sakura, Syaoran said, taking her arm. His golden eyes met Syaoran's amber ones. They glared at each other. As Tomeo watched Sakura and Syaoran walk out, she commented, poor Syaoran-kun. You'll really be missing out on your chance if you're not careful. What do you mean? Syaoran plunked the black cat back on his head. Syaoran-kun plays his game to get what he wants. Tomeo fingered her lavender ribbon. Well, he can do what he wants, Syaoran said. But just because he's like that doesn't mean that I don't have to be like that. Tomeo dissolved the information, her violet eyes grave. If you mean you'd rather care for Sakura's happiness, you better watch out, because she won't be happy unless the person she cares for returns her love. And people like Syaoran can easily push soft-hearted people like Sakura. Sakura's not stupid. She knows what she's doing, out of all people. Syaoran could never be the right person, Syaoran said darkly. Then he slammed his fist into the wall, betraying his cool words. Tomeo cringed as people stared at the crack that had formed on the theater wall. Syaoran bent over. Concerned, she asked, Syaoran-kun, what's the matter? Looking up with puppy eyes, Syaoran held out his red hand. Ouch, that hurt. I didn't know it was marble stone. Tomeo, sweat dropped.